Do you want to reach your goals, but are relying on motivation that isn't always there? Do you want to make a change in your life, but you're worried about what other people will think? Do you feel stuck in a job, a relationship, or situation in your life and need the inspiration to make big moves? Are you ready to elevate yourself past your fears? Then elevate with Erica. Grab a bottle and get comfy, friends. It's time for some unfiltered advice. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Elevate with Erica. This episode's going to be a little bit different. I leave for Nashville tomorrow with my mom. My husband is not able to travel during the month of June because of work. So my mom and I are going to celebrate a good friend's birthday party. I'm so excited. We will be in Nashville Wednesday to Sunday. This is a trip I have always wanted to take, and I've gotten a lot of messages from some of my followers on Instagram that it will be the trip of a lifetime. So I am super excited to make the memories. And if you don't already follow me on Instagram, by the time you hear this, my trip will be over, but you probably missed some pretty interesting stories. Just saying. So I am recording this on a Tuesday. You guys won't tune in till the following Monday. I have to leave to get my kids from school in a couple hours. I have just been so busy lately, working on some additional personal trainer certifications. And this is the last thing that I really want to tie up before I head out of town. So what does this mean? That I didn't have a lot of time to take a lot of notes here today. So this is probably going to be the most unscripted episode I've had, which, you know what, I actually think is very perfect because there's a little bit of raw emotion still behind what I plan to talk about today. And I think you guys are really going to connect with it. Over the past 6 months, I've really been trying to get better at prioritizing my peace. Now, what do I mean by that? It feels good to get to a resolution. I don't like things to feel undone or like a conversation hasn't been had that maybe should be, or minimizing how I feel just to resolve a situation faster. Does that make sense? And then we've all heard about forgiveness, right? You should do it because you don't want to live with that hate in your heart. Life is too short, yada, yada, yada. But there also comes a point where you have to separate forgiveness and forgetting the situation altogether. Sometimes, while you may forgive someone for your own release, it doesn't mean they deserve a free pass back into your life. And that's what I've given people my whole life. But now, here I am at 35 years old. I'll be 36 next month, by the way. My birthday's coming. If you're a local and you see me out and about, I love a spicy margarita. By the way, thank you, Jess, who recognized me from Instagram and bought me a shot on Saturday. You are so sweet. Okay, what was I saying? Here I am at 35 years old, and where has forgiving and forgetting got me? To a point in my life where I feel like I've been walked all over. To a point where I have a really hard time trusting people and being myself and sharing my flaws. And I have a lot, just like so many of you. Choosing their peace by forgiving and forgetting over mine has just left me feeling really disconnected from people that are supposed to be my friends. So today, I chose this topic because I see so many people settling all the time for shitty friendships, relationships, jobs, etc., instead of making their peace a priority. And I'm here to tell you that forgiveness does not bring peace despite what we've been told. There is so much more. Forgiveness doesn't mean they get the privilege to be a part of your life anymore. And yes, it is a privilege, and that's part of this topic today as well. Knowing that you're freaking amazing and recognizing your worth. Here's what I think also makes this so challenging. We are our own worst critic, right? So for me, when it comes to forgiving someone, I go through various phases before doing so, but I always get to this phase where I start to think about all the ways I'm not perfect. Have you ever done that? Tearing myself down in my head until I get to the point where I say, well, I've done all these things I'm not happy with, so I need to forgive them. And just like that, they're off the hook. Because I've knocked down my worth so much that I don't feel I'm worthy of asking them to do better or of finding better. But you know what? No one is perfect. We all have so much going on. Some of us just hide it better than others. And social media has a way of making us think everyone else's life is perfect if we aren't careful. Now, like I've said before, social media is not the enemy. It's your mind. We got to get real and know that social media is just a highlight reel. It's the nice photo album you pull out from under your coffee table during the holidays. It's generally all the good things. You got to know that before that thumb starts scrolling so your mind doesn't start comparing. And if you're not able to do that, get off social media because it's not good for you. Fall in love with yourself first, okay? Now look, I know I don't have to say what I'm about to say, but I'm going to for the sake of this topic today. Despite what my social media looks like, and despite how real I try to keep it, I don't put all my dirty laundry out there. And I ain't perfect. My career ain't perfect. I'm not the perfect mother. My marriage is not perfect. While I'm not usually emotionally driven, when I do go through those rough days, man, can my emotions take over. My house is covered in cat hair, and it smells like cat poop some days because he insists on only pooping on the floor. I got shit going on, like literal shit. And that's not even the half of it. I ain't telling you everything. You got shit going on too, right? But guess what? Just because you're not perfect does not make you any less beautiful or any less worthy of love, acceptance, and respect from someone else. It doesn't mean that you have to forgive and forget. It doesn't mean you have to let them back in to do it all over again. That your peace gets a back seat, that you don't deserve any better, that is false. We've all heard the saying, right? When somebody tells you how they really feel, don't make them say it twice. I'd rather work 3 jobs than work one where I'm not valued. I'd rather be single and in a studio apartment than in a marriage that only looks pretty on the outside. I'd rather have 1 friend than 10 I don't trust. I had a fallout with a high school girlfriend recently, and it's been a very challenging battle to work through. The old me 5 years ago would have just said it was easier to forgive and forget, but then I would have just been left with a friend that doesn't actually know who I am, who I can't be myself around, and a friend that judged me based on what they think my life looks like, based on, I assume, social media, because they haven't taken the time to ask me about my life at all outside of that. Pay close attention to those friends who don't clap when you win, and then on top of that, have a lot to say when you hit a low. Stop sitting at that table. This ain't high school no more. I no longer sit at tables where I might be the topic when I get up. Protect your peace. You are worthy. You are worthy of people who ask how your life is going. You are worthy of being heard if someone's done you wrong. You are worthy of saying no to things that don't feel good to you. You are worthy of exiting relationships that are not bringing you pure joy to your life. Always seek that which brings peace to your heart. Don't wrap forgiving and forgetting when it's not warranted in a pretty bow and call it peace. Forgiving people in silence, letting go of that relationship that's bringing you down, exiting that job that's making you wish away your life till Friday, that's all a form of self-care. When you start to love yourself that much that you're able to let go of what's not serving you and be at peace with that, oh man, that peace will make room for amazing things in your life, girlfriend. You let those relationships and situations go and wait and see what starts showing up for you because you started requiring more. You stopped settling. You acknowledged your worth. You chose your peace. You will attract all the love, respect, and appreciation you wanted from the wrong people. Now from the people who were actually meant for you. You deserve the best life has to offer, but you aren't going to get it if you keep playing with your peace like that, if you keep putting it on the back burner to make room for someone else's ego. You are magnetic, and everything starts with how you feel about yourself. You can appreciate what you learned from those who left, from the situations you left, but you will be so grateful for what you've attracted in place of those things. I thought I might get a little emotional today, but I'm actually pleasantly surprised at myself. Must be that Nashville vacay on my heart, because I'm going through things that are very real and raw right now. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. But I want to say this. People slap that friend label on just anybody. But if they've made you feel small, that's not your friend. And if their absence would bring you more peace, then I pray that you choose that absence over their disrespect. Because anything that costs you your peace is too expensive. Every morning, peace arrives at your door in the form of choices. Cheers to choosing peace every single time. Until next episode, friends. E.